we pray on time, we look for the opportunities to do those good deeds. You know, there's a whole atmosphere that's been created of ta'ah, of obedience to Allah, sacrifice for the sake of Allah. This whole atmosphere could not be created even if you spent the most money, all the wealth in the world. You could not create this atmosphere. Allah created it with one saying, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام. He obligated the siyam. He made the Quran come down in this time, giving us the guidance, giving us the light. Obligation of Quran. Allah did it. We could not do it. This atmosphere, we take benefit of it. We try to think every second. If we forget for a second, inshallah we have someone who reminds us. Take benefit. Draw close to Allah. You have an opportunity, don't waste it. In Ramadan, throughout the year we get busy. We neglect, at least to some extent. There is no one in the world except that to some extent, until Ramadan, he has neglected the Quran in some way. The Huffaz, perhaps they haven't been revising the Quran as well as they would, or as they should. But when it comes to Ramadan, every single person, from the best to the worst, reattaches himself to the Quran. Some kind of increase. Why? Because this is the month of Quran. When it comes to Ramadan, we remember that because we're eating less, we're controlling our stomachs more. And inshallah, even after iftar, if we haven't been doing it in the past, we're going to control ourselves now. Because we don't want to defeat the purpose of Ramadan. Control ourselves. Learn this taqwa. Move up in the ladder of taqwa. Compete with each other in taqwa. Don't fill ourselves so that we can't pray properly. We've lessened our desires. We've controlled them far more. Shaitan can't run through our veins anymore. Even the small shayateen who are still loose, they can't run through our veins as they used to do. Because there's less blood. It's not pumping as fast. So we've lessened our desires. So that makes it easier for us to do the good deeds. Every single one of us. Then let's not forget the brotherhood that is created in Ramadan. You do not see the brotherhood that you see in Ramadan ever equal to this ever in any other month of the year. Ramadan, everyone's coming together, eating, breaking fast together. The Prophet ﷺ, some of his companions come to him and they complain. They say, we eat and we don't become satisfied. We're still hungry. We have food, we eat, we don't become hungry. The Prophet ﷺ, we're still hungry. The Prophet ﷺ says to them, perhaps you eat individually. They say yes. The Prophet ﷺ says to them, eat together and say Bismillah before you start, and then you become satisfied. This is exactly what happens in Ramadan. Before we're all eating individually whenever we can, whatever, but now we make a point. Iftar comes, we'll be in the masjid, we'll break fast together. If it's not there, we invite people to our houses and we sit together, we break our fast together, we eat from the same plate, we share our food, we laugh, we joke. There's the eating side of it. That's part of the charity. We're passing on rewards to each other. Then there's a socializing, which is part and parcel of Al-Islam. How can we know how to help our brothers unless we get close to them? And eating in Al-Islam is not to just fill your belly. Eating in Al-Islam, like in any other religion or no religion, it's a social event. You eat, you get to know each other, you talk. Prophet ﷺ, we know he said, don't make your eating like your salah. Don't be silent, talk, have fun, mention things that are good. So we see this in Ramadan. Shaykh al-Islam rahimahullah ta'ala, I want to quote this very important saying of his. He says, the benefits in the dunya and the akhirah can never be achieved except when there's mutual cooperation, when there's ta'awun, cooperation, working together, and when we support and we aid each other. This is the truth. When it comes to doing good deeds, coming together to do them makes them easy. The whole of the Muslim Ummah starts fasting. Fasting, which had been so difficult when it had been short, now becomes easy. People who couldn't leave their food, even for a few hours, they had to eat something, put something in their mouths, they all leave it. Why? Because everyone is there doing the same thing. Encouragement. That's here in the dunya. When it comes to developing a masjid, we have to come together. No one person can do it. Just come together and get a masjid up and running and get everything working as it should, as a masjid should be the center of the Muslims in that community. A place of learning, a place of education, a place of socializing. No one person can do this by himself. To get these benefits, we have to come together. If we look at the greater benefits in our lives here, you look how many people are involved in producing them. How many people are involved in establishing them. Can't be done except with the group. The Muslims are strong when they're together. This is Ramadan. And then when it comes to the akhirah, all of these deeds, the greatest of them is when there is a communal benefit. These are the biggest ones. Individual benefits are small. They don't get you to those high ranks. The Prophet ﷺ said, the one who seeks knowledge, learns it and then teaches it, the scholar, he is like that big moon in the sky compared to all those other stars. It's not because he kept it to himself. It's because he taught the people. He brought the benefit to the whole of humanity. That's why. And the greatest of them, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, the last benefit that I want to mention, before I mention a few other things, the last benefit is that in Ramadan we all go up. There's a ladder that we all go up, the ladder of taqwa, the ladder of being a better Muslim. We all become better Muslims. Whatever level we are now, we become better in Ramadan. Things that we thought we could never do, staying up all night, reading Quran all night. Whatever these deeds may be, we prove to ourselves we can do them. We prove to ourselves we can be better Muslims. Now, Allah didn't obligate Ramadan upon us except 1 month in the whole year. But when it comes to Ramadan, we've got to that level. Now Ramadan passes. We have to make sure we are going to drop. That's inevitable. No one can keep that standard that we have in Ramadan throughout the whole year. It's not possible. But when you drop, make sure you don't drop right back to where you started. Make sure you stay a few steps higher than where you started this Ramadan. What does that mean? Next Ramadan comes, I do the same. Make sure I don't drop back to that same level. So every Ramadan, I'm becoming a better and better Muslim. Throughout my life, I'm becoming a better and better Muslim until I reach my pinnacle. And that's when Allah takes me, inshaAllah ta'ala. So let's make that a point. Prove to ourselves that we're going to be better Muslims and make sure that we do it. And throughout the rest of the year, we don't drop all the way back down again. The last thing I'm going to mention before I open it up and deal with questions on more of the fiqhi side of it, if that's what people want, is the issue of moon sighting. Now Ramadan, it's the blessed month. But before it happens, or just as it happens, there's all these disputes, you know. Do we start with Saudi? Do we start with local sightings? And everyone's got their own opinion. And everyone's their own boss. You know, no one runs anyone else. We're our own authorities. We do as we please. This is what we do in England, in the UK. When it comes to the Muslim lands, you know, whoever the ruler is, he decides, and that's it. Everyone's on that, and they have that jama'ah. And now you have all these different opinions. So let's quickly, very briefly look at them. And I'm going to summarize the issue for you so that you can have some understanding of it. The Prophet ﷺ, yes, everyone quotes that famous hadith, "Sumu li-ru'yatihi wa aftiru li-ru'yatihi." Fast when you see the hilal, and stop fasting when you see the hilal. Celebrate Eid according to moon sighting. But we also have another hadith in Tirmidhi and Abu Dawud that says fasting is when the people start fasting, and Eid is when the people celebrate Eid.